Okay, so right off the bat, we're gonna hop on in. We're gonna go over to social media because we're gonna go create a YouTube banner. So, for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to be using some of the things that me and the wife created in the past. But for this example, we wanted to talk about thinking about the aesthetic of your channel. So we decided for this demonstration to go with a lo-fi, hip-hop, sci-fi sort of jam. Okay, cool. Sound cool to you? Sounds cool to me. Okay, so if you think about what you're aiming for in that regard, you're going to want to find images and colors, and you're going to want to pick those staples and stick with them throughout all your thumbnails, your banner, your logo, and your intros, your GIFs, whatever else you choose to incorporate with your branding. Okay, so um, there's a few things you're going to want to know about creating a banner as well. That it needs to be centralized, right? Because the banner is shown in certain on tablets, on cell phones, and on computers in different formats, and therefore you want to size the thing perfectly for that purpose. Okay, enough talk. Let's just get into it. Okay, I'm going to choose some sci-fi. Is that how you spell sci-fi? I don't know. Sci-fi. Yeah, that's cool. And it's got to be a little hip hop. It's got to be a little street. Yeah. I mean, well, look at that. You can't ask for much better than that right off the hop, eh? It's pretty dope. Pretty dope, right? Now, like I said, you want to keep things centralized, so you don't want to miss out on the best part of the images. And so, what are we going to call this? We're going to call this lo-fi, sci. I don't know. How do you spell sci? I don't know. Lo-fi, sci-fi, hip hop channel. Sure, why not? Okay, so let's continue on here. What are we going to incorporate into our design? Well, we got some pretty cool looking colors here. We got some like neon, we got some purples, we got some oranges, and you kind of get the aesthetic right off the hop, right? Okay, so let's go back into our elements and let's play with some graphics. Okay, well, we got some neon frames already, so look at that. And we can stick with the same sort of color aesthetic like we've already got, correct? So why don't we let's see what this looks like if we were to rotate it to 90 degrees and see, we can cut it off halfway. We can make it a bit bigger and we can cut it off like that. Now remember, this is the important part. You're trying to keep the banner within a certain parameter, okay? And I'm going to show you why at the end of the video. Okay, we're going to flip that upside down. Cool. Let's see here. I'm matching it up. Oh, that's not bad. I mean, it's not great either, but okay, so also cool hotkey to remember is Alt-1 because it allows you to go to your overlapping and layers so that you can adjust where you want things to sit. So that's just so you know. Okay, that's a good start. Now we'll go back to our elements, and you can do this any which way you choose to do it. Now let's go and let's see if we can find something that says lo-fi. I mean, you might not be able to, right? There's no guarantee of it, that the library will have it. Bam. Okay, let's go to the effects. We want neon. We want it to be within the same color schemes that we have up there already, right? And yeah, there we go. Lo-fi. Bam. Let's sci-fi. Yeah. Bam. So right off the bat, you're kind of getting it. You're kind of getting the gist of what I'm throwing down there, right? The whole point is you want to create an aesthetic. You want to create your own little world, right? Your own universe, right? This is kind of universe building in and of itself. If your channel is meant to be a certain way, a certain look, a certain vibe, then this is what you're trying to portray in all of your artwork, right? So this is just me just spitballing as I go along here. I do fortunately have some stuff that we made way back that we can show you as we go along. Um, you know, we've got a bunch of really cool stuff over here that kind of would would give you an idea of exactly the aesthetic we're talking about here, right? Let's imagine this was the channel, right? Like, look at that. I don't know. That's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So look at the aesthetic, right? We're creating a world here, and this is what we're aiming for. Now, this is part of the branding itself, and so we're going to want to incorporate that the best we can. Okay, so this is where you got to get to play with stuff a little bit so that it all fits and still looks really cool, right? There's no right way, there's no wrong way, right? Like I said, you are literally world building here at this point, right? So a lot of fun. I'm going to show you in a bit how I created this GIF right here, which is used on part of the video creation portion, right? It's kind of pops up and when the beat's playing and it plays to the beat sort of thing. I'll teach you how to create that. A lot of fun. But for this purpose, we're using it as part of our branding. Okay. And I'll show you how you can do things like it. And the whole point is to take some of the ideas that I give you and apply them in your own way. Right. So remember, we got to keep things centralized here because the banner is only going to take up the center portion of this whole image, right? It's only going to take up that much. And when you go to a YouTube channel page, you notice that the banner is only right there, right? So what we're trying to do here is create it so it falls directly in that and everything sits perfectly within it. You might have to download it and then upload it into it to see if it fit perfectly. So you might have to do some jigging back and forth, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. So basically, I've given you an idea of how to create a banner, what to expect when you're creating a banner as well, rather than scratch your head like why isn't it working or whatever. Just know that they're only incorporating a very small portion of it for the formats. Okay, so while the rest of it is important, right, because it's all part of your design, they're only going to use a little bit of it for cell phones and things of that nature. So um, there you go. That's the first example. Okay. It was quick. It was painless. Um, you know what I mean? There's not, it's not super difficult, but spend your time on it. Like I know I just threw this together in a heartbeat, but the point is if you take your time with it and you build your world the way you want to, you don't have to do what I did here, like neon. Like it's all a matter of your style, what you're aiming for, what you want for your channel and your niche, what makes sense. It could be cutesy, it could be about bunnies, I don't know, right? Like point is, um you get the point. Okay. Also know that this moving item here, this when you download this, it will be downloaded as a I think a JPEG or a PNG, one of the two. So this right here, that moving object will not be moving. It will be stationary. But yeah, okay. So that's it for this portion. We're gonna move along now. This lo-fi GIF for our lo-fi channel. Okay. All right. Okay, so now based on everything I've showed you there about the aesthetic, I'm going to show you quickly how to make a lo-fi video. And this is stuff we've created on Leonardo AI and other AI video and image creation software platforms. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to just show you a slew of clips from previously created um, uh, videos from my wife's channel. And then once you see how that kind of fits together, and then you would play music in the background, basically, like stuff to get you amped for work or whatever. And you can see that all of this stuff is pretty well, pretty well keeping to the aesthetic that we talked about, right? The colors are the same. It's true world building, right? So you got to keep that in mind for whatever you're trying to do. It may not be this, but you still kind of want to think about even the things that you wear, even the backgrounds that you have, right? I mean, you might not need to do that in every type of channel and every type of niche, but it's still something to think about and consider. Okay. So I just threw that together really quickly so you get an idea of, like, just imagine like a hip hop and like just like, yeah, and it's kind of a workflow sort of thing. And so channels like this do actually pretty well, and pretty low upkeep. And you do have to pay for certain softwares and stuff like that for licensing purposes and other things of that nature. But yeah, so that's that. I'm going to move right along really quickly into creating the the GIF that I showed you guys before. That was part of the banner. So, all right. Okay. So, as you've seen before, as I showed you guys just I don't know, a few minutes back there, we had a GIF like that, right? And typically you would see it pop up every so often. So for the purposes of this demonstration, bam, right? And it would pop up, and you can animate it in, right? You can pan it in, you can fade it in, you can fade it out. You can do a bunch of different things with it. You can also do this on CapCut as well. However, this is just showing you, and so you would have this come up like, you know, every I don't know, 5-10 minutes, whatever. You would have this thing pop up, so that as it was playing, you just to picture this whole thing moving, right? Like, and then it would pop up again, right? So yeah, but now I want to show you how I made that. So let's get rid of all this stuff in the background and get right into it. Okay, so we're going to start with a blank canvas there. Let's start with um, our logo for, what's our logo going to be for the graphic, right? And I will pick something of my own to start creating right now, so that I can um, choose the images that I want perfectly. You know what I mean? I like that. That's a cool image. So let's find out um, how we frame that bad boy. And we go to frames, right? And then what we would do is we would drop that image onto it, and boom, there you go. You got your logo. Just that simple. Nothing to it, right, guys? Nothing to it. So now I'm going to want to add some other elements to it, right? And I don't want this whole thing to occupy the entire screen, right? You got to remember that this whole screen is the entirety of your video. So you don't want this thing taking up that much of the room, right? Because you're going to have other images in the background. You want it to be maybe in that sort of, just so it still has definition, so you can still see the quality of it, right? Anyways, you can play with that. We're going to go into graphics, and now we're going to go find some well, because we're sticking with the neon and all of that color coordinated sort of stuff. Like, you can see all the colors are right there. They're right in front of you. You can use something like this. Oh, that's perfect. Right? And there's tons of different stuff. You could scroll through this for an hour and it probably wouldn't end. So just keep that in mind. That looks pretty cool. So we're going to pull that up and we're going to right off the right off the hop, we're going to animate it and we're going to add a rotation to it. And we're going to make sure it's not too speedy, but you know, something like that. Okay, but we got to make sure that we are layering this in the proper way. We want this portion to be on top of this and not in behind it. I mean, it could be in behind it, but we don't want to miss out on what the we don't want to muddy the image up too much, right? So cool. Sorry, I got to move that over here as well as that. Awesome. Yeah. So now we got a spinning. Now we can also do something with this. We could animate this to breathe in and breathe out, right? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to add another blank spot and we're going to make this thing last 20 seconds, let's say, okay? And we're going to duplicate that. We're going to move that right beside it and we're going to duplicate that and we're going to move it right beside it, right? So now we have basically a duplicate, right? Basically a duplicate. And for this portion, for the left side, we're going to animate it breathing outward and we're going to maximize it. Okay, and I'll show you why in a second. And then we're going to go to the other one. We're going to want to make sure these are overlapped in the same area. So here, let's find the right, oops. Yeah, so now they're in the same spot, right? They're perfectly, there's no movement. Gonna make sure that's happening. Okay, so we're going back to this one and we are going to add it, we're gonna breathe it in so that basically that's what we got. Now we got it pulsating, right? Kind of cool. Now we're gonna add more stuff to this, right? Make it a bit more busy. Let's add some contrasting colors. Maybe we can add some other bits of neon or other neat patterns and things of that nature that might, I don't know, just jazz this up a little bit. Okay, so we got a purple there. Let's try something else. Let's see here. Okay, that looks pretty good. I like that. I don't want to cover it. It's gigantic. Okay, so then we got to decide for ourselves, where do we want this to be? Do we want it to be at the very bottom? Do we want that to be in behind everything? And let's see, play around with it because, like I said before, many times, there's no right, there is no wrong, right? And then we can animate this as well. And what's cool about the things we can do is we could pulsate it, and we could lessen the intensity. We could flicker it too. We could rotate it as well as the pulsing, as well as a flicker. There's so much you can do. It's a little bit crazy, right? Now we're going to copy that and we're going to duplicate it and we're going to move it right over to the side. Now, what we're going to do on the second side here is we're going to rotate it the other direction because I think that would be pretty cool. But I think that's off bound. It's not in the same area. So we're going to have to move that so that we are 100%. Oops. We just want to make sure we're in line with every portion we have, every piece we have. We want them to all be, we want this side to mirror the other side, right? So that's what we got going so far. Now we can highlight this whole thing and we can group it together so that we can change the size of it. all as one, right? And we do the same thing for this side. Okay. Anyways, you guys are getting the point. You're getting what I'm throwing down here, right? I think you understand. Okay, now let's add some other elements to it. Let's do something like, I don't know. Oh, like, yeah, I had those, like, the musical, yeah, okay, what about, like, heartbeat thingy? Yeah, something like that. I wonder if we can get it to be animated. So you have options here. Let's try animated. Cool. Cool. Were we looking for something like that, or we want something a bit different? Let's try vibration. Okay. Nope. Let's see. Radio static. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like that. I mean, that's kind of cool, but we're going to want to put it all the way in the background, right? So we remember our layering process. These two white boxes are all one single. Get rid of that. They're one single. This is the bottom page. This is the you know what I mean? Like, this is, yeah. So I don't really like that. It doesn't match with our colors, right? So let's keep that in mind. You want to stay consistent with your colors across everything you do. Anyways, this is taking me longer than I wanted it to. Let's do. Yeah, finally we found it. Okay. Cool. And I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm going to flip it. I'm going to make it less transparent and move it there. And then I'm going to grab the group of them, and then I'm going to duplicate the group, and then I'm going to flip the group, because that's what you can do if you want to do it, right? And you can change the size of it. So now you're really playing with stuff. You can duplicate again, right? And you can play with that. And then you can add more on top of it, like, I don't know, whatever you want, really. There is no right, there is no wrong. The point is you can have a lot of fun with it. And I think that is, if you're not having fun while you're making any of this stuff, then I don't think you're in the right job. It should be fun, right? And I know this is just a small portion of things, but honestly, it makes a difference. It really does. So I'm going to have this playing in behind everything, and it's going to stretch the same amount of time as everything else, right? So let's see what we have so far. Not bad. Now, I obviously rushed through this. I wasn't like giving it, like, I wasn't, but it's just the purpose is to show you the things that you can do, right? And now if you threw this into a background, which I'm going to do right now so that you understand exactly what we were aiming for, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Cool. We're going to make it a bit slower, and then we're going to add this portion. Now, the nice thing is you can download this whole thing without adding a background into it, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in just a moment. Oh, come on, give me a break. All right, you see what we've done here? This would all be to a lo-fi beat, get your work on, whatever, right? And then it would eventually disappear. And so rather than worry about the background, because we don't care about it, we're going to download this as a transparent background. So now that you can see it, transparent background right there. Things will change a little bit, but for the most part, you're going to get what you want out of that design. Okay, so moving right along, that's that lesson. We're going to now move into the thumbnail. Okay, moving along. Okay, so to cap off the rest of this video, I just wanted to show you quickly thumbnails, all right? Now, sticking with the same aesthetic and idea as we have throughout this video, keeping in with the colors and just the ideas and the feel of your channel, your niche, right? So I've started off, as you can see, with a still image, and this is going to be for a thumbnail. It's very simple. Now, this video is going to be about lo-fi, sci-fi, hip-hop, and we're going to want to title that. Don't use too many words on the screen, right? You don't want it so busy that it's like you can't digest it and you can't really tell what's going on. So get 3 to 5 words maximum, right? Less is better, less is more type thing. Keep with the same fonts that you've been using, right? Whatever they are, stick with them. The same palette, stick with that, right? So this lo-fi video is going to be called Get in the Flow, Workflow. Okay, and we're going to add an effect to that. We're going neon because this is right in line with the brand, as it were, right? Now I know my face is in the way there, but you know what? You can deal with that. Maybe something like that. Okay, now I downloaded the GIF that we made a little while ago. Boom, there it is. Now it's going to be a still image, so it's going to freeze. It's going to take the first image, the first frame. It's not going to be moving, obviously, because it's a thumbnail, right? But you will be able to lo-fi, sci-fi, hip hop, right? That's our channel name. Cool. Right? Very simple. I mean, I know I just said only a few words, but I mean, you get the point. This is just in the background, no big deal. Okay, there's a thumbnail. Simple and sweet, right? And it speaks to the brand. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you got some stuff out of this video today. I hope you did. We're going to just keep pumping them out so that you guys can pick up tips and tricks. It's all for the beginner that doesn't know what they're doing. Canva's a great tool. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Catch you on the flippity flip. All right. Check you later.